Hi, everybody. So, I have said that I'm not going to advertise my book until we figure out all this craziness in the world. But for those who have bought it and not read it yet, I urge you to read it because this book is, it, if you read it with the events of today, everything going on in the world, you'll see that uh, it's kind of a pretty spot on estimate of the world in the direction it's going. And I didn't realize when I was writing it how much of it was things that I didn't know about yet uh, happening in the world, like Palantir and just stuff like that. Um, and I was watching something today that just made me think, you know what? I wonder if I was supposed to write it for a reason. And I truly think that I did. And I'm going to explain why. Okay? Because this book, okay, so it starts what started as a midlife crisis for Isaiah Winters, a retired veteran, failing podcaster, struggling in his marriage, parenting, and mental health. And I just realized I spelled parenting wrong on this. Quickly becomes a universe shattering realization that everything we thought we knew was wrong. When his grandfather's death triggers an avalanche of questions, Isaiah's curious nature of asking why will thrust him into multiple dimensions of awakening and ancient truths that pose very real and very imminent danger to the world as we know it. Will Isaiah be able to succeed on his own, or will the power of family love and the assistance of beings unknown need to intervene? One thing is certain, the journey of awakening has begun, and he is ready for the truth. Are you? I wrote this I wrote this a little over a year ago. Um, various stages of it. And it is about a corporation or a conglomerate of corporations that has been growing since the beginning of what I call this last reset, which it goes in the book what the reset is. And they are gearing up to start the next reset by, in the book, flooding the world and hiding in their bunkers, waiting out the reset so that they can come back up and reclaim power again and try again. And in the book, they're siphoning our energy, which is in the book called Aether. And the premise is that we are all beings and that humanity was created by a group of beings from different species and races and dimensions that came together to create something that could encompass all of them and provide a physical vessel to experience life in a way that they can't maybe. Um, and in this story, they are feeding off of that aether or their humans' energy to uh, feed this machine that is running that we call Earth. Um, and they have trapped us inside of a invisible dome or firmament, if you will, however you want to perceive it. But it's a trap to um, feed off of our aether and use it to further their horrible activities in the greed and the corruption and the power. So it's a very relevant book in terms of waking people up to the light of the truth and the weight of light, the weight of that truth that is carried by you once you wake up explains the title, if that makes sense. The weight of light is about once you have been made aware and seen things for what they are, do you have no other choice but to act? And in this book, in this story, he acts because he has very vested interests. He has family, and he has a wife, and they've built a life together. And even through all of its struggles, they've had this gift that they were given to experience together. And it in the book, it will take for the family to come together and all of the special gifts that they each have individually to stop what's coming. And in reality, we all collectively are the tool and the weapon with our own individual awakeness to whatever it is that we perceive. In my book, it is a group of beings. It may just be a consciousness in reality. It may be what we perceive each as our individual gods. Whatever it is, once you find that and you see it for what it is, and everybody wakes up to it together, just the simple act of acknowledging it with all of our focus is enough to stop it. There has to be no war. There has to be no magical group of people that comes down. They need to see that we all, as humanity, are watching. And that power of our attention, which is clearly powerful because the Tower of Babel, or social media and TV, clearly is absorbing our attention and thusly our power. So we know it to be true. If we take that power and we just turn it, or just no longer give it to them, we all collectively don't have to lift a finger. We don't have to march. We don't have to do anything. We just have to acknowledge and just stop it. And the reason that I am making this video now and I'm choosing to talk about it is because I just now this morning really realized on March, I don't know what day it is, 17th, on March 17th, 2026, sitting here listening to the news again, saying horrible things, and trying to think of another video to make again to try and get people to see what I see in a way that they can understand it. And that's when I realized that this might be it. So I urge anyone that has bought it, which I appreciate that you bought it, but I urge you to actually read it. It's not big. It's only a couple hundred pages. And then, talk to people. Ask questions about things you see in the world. Start questioning everything. Start asking why, because the truth is in the why. And I firmly believe that. And I believe that there's a way to wake everybody up. We just have to figure out how to speak each person's language. And I think that we got this. Humanity and integrity have it. I really do. That's my video. It is on Amazon. I'm not a fan of that, but it's all we have right now because I don't have the money for websites and to buy a bunch of books and then resell. So I appreciate everybody. High five.